Hello, this is Jared playing Oxygen Not Included. In the last episode, I got the data science research item locked, and that is with the goal of getting the achievements data-driven down here. Produce a data bank using a data miner, operating at maximum efficiency. Well, now I can make a data miner. I haven't built it yet, so we'll start off figuring out how it runs first. And then once we know how it runs, then we'll look at how to make it more efficient so I can get this achievement. So we've got this going in. I already have... Oh, we don't have light access, never mind. But you know what? I can simply move this over. I think that lamp can access it nonetheless. Okay. Well, my dupes do that. Let me look at this thing. What does it take? It says plastic to data banks. Okay, so it's still plastic that's used. It's just, I guess, I'm assuming this machine doesn't require us to go in space like the other equipment. That's actually pretty nice, because over on this rocket we have our orbital data collection, but it doesn't operate unless we're actually out in space. So I'm assuming I can just hit one fact. You know what? I think I put all my plastic here, and since no one can touch this, it doesn't look like I have any plastic, but maybe I will just start with bringing plastic down, since that's the input. Maybe we'll be really advanced and have an auto sweeper. And I will put in, let's see, manufactured material. Let's bring in plastic. So there's our auto sweeper. I should see everyone else. Bionic dupes wearing Atmo suits all the time. Super convenient. Going up to grab some plastic. And then we're going to make the first data bank, I hope. Unless there's some other component that I need that I'm just not aware of. Let's look at that. Mass-produced databanks that can be processed into data analysis research points. Okay. Duplicants will not fabricate items unless recipes are quenned. Well, that's good. So I assume I could either make it forever, one, or however how many. That's awesome. Databanks can also be used to program robo-pilot rocket modules. Oh. Actually, that's right. I've never figured out how to do that. Okay, robo-pilot module. Anyway, that's going to be the later thing. That I see. So we need these databanks for, even if we get all the research completed, we actually now have a reason to still make the databanks. Okay, cool. Let's go back to this. Categories: industrial machinery. Ooh! It takes 1,000 watts. Okay, I actually connected to the heavy watt wire line. I wasn't even really thinking about that. This is where my old oil refinery used to be. That gave us our plastic. Ouch! Okay. 3.5 heat. Overheat temperature. That's based on what it's made out of. I thought I made that out of gold. Oh, I did not. Okay, never mind. That's fine. It's currently minus 20, so I don't think we're going to have an issue with overheating. Let's see if there's any clues up here in the database about efficiency. Mass-produced databanks. Duplicants will not fabricate. It's just saying the same information. Build time, 30 seconds. So I wonder if there's something I can do to get that down to improve efficiency. Effects, heat temperature, auto inputs, so I can enable, disable it. Plastic, 5 kilograms, 200 seconds, 1 data bank. Let's go through the process and make one. Oh, the dupe doesn't actually need to stand there. Okay, now does that mean that the light axis maybe is not really needed then? Well, that's kind of cool. So it just works on its own. Someone has to load it. And then it goes through this 200-second process. And we'll see what happens when it's done. Alright, let's get our first data bank. And there we go, a data bank not made in space. Well, I did not see achievement come up, so that must not have been a most efficient run. What is the most efficient run? Let's give this another go, maybe study that out. Our Flido picking that up, making it its way up here for storage. That's cool. Okay, let's have a closer look at this. What do we got? Production rate 161. And just seeming to stay there. But no real well, 160 when we went down. For some reason when we went down. Why was that? Production rate. This building is operating at 100% of its maximum speed. Or sorry, 160% of its maximum speed. Production rate decreases at higher temperatures. Oh. Current ambient temperature minus 14.7. So, I guess the reverse of that, production rate decreases at higher temperatures. The reverse would be it's more efficient at colder temperatures. Alright, well, where am I? Okay, now I'm kicking myself for not getting an asteroid with a frozen core, which I often do, but I have not done in this case. But let's have a look at where the colder spots are on this asteroid. Yeah, let's look at that perspective. Okay, so we have a really cold spot. Ooh, that's right. So there's this spot over here where it's minus 91. We've got minus 60. Up here we've got minus 60. I mean, we might as well. Everyone has Atmos suits at this point. We're not producing any more metal, so how about I just slice into this zone here where it's at its coldest, maybe right about here, and we will get started with experimenting on running this in a much colder atmosphere, and maybe that's all there is to getting the achievement. First step to this process is digging out a pathway to get over here. Once we have that, we'll have to bring in our heavy watt wire system so we can power this thing that consumes 1,000 watts of power to operate. Not sure if this is a little overboard, but just doing a little bit of insulation here, just so that we can keep in the nice and coldness as we run this experiment. Okay, great job insulating, except for the fact I didn't intend to have you trapped inside there. So with that, let's start the process of bringing in our heavy watt wire line. Connect into this and connect over. And make our way down. We've got this little spot here, solid carbon dioxide right next to it. This is pretty cold though. We're in a low oxygen area. I mean, that is not what I'm worried about. I'm just worried about there's not a lot of gas. So interacting with this equipment might be a little difficult. Temperature wise, we use gold amalgam. Put that right there. Let's try it and see if we need to do anything to smooth things out. What metal do we have in the area? So we'll just keep going with the cinnabar ore right until we reach this spot. I'm not going to bother putting in any of the automation just yet. We'll see how it operates with one. I don't know how many databanks I need to create. Maybe it forces you. It doesn't say really. I would have expected if you need to create 10 at high efficiency or 20 or something like that, it would have like a number to a track, like 1 out of 10 or something, but we'll see. Maybe it's time based. I've got to make databanks consistently at a certain amount of time at highest efficiency. Everyone is dying to see if this is going to work out. Gizmo Beaker's app. Just watching ship make something. Oh, we don't power. What did we do wrong? Did we miss a tile somewhere here? But, oh. Why did no one create... Ah, I see. I see. Well, that was not intended. That's supposed to go up and around, or actually, you know, maybe better to go down. Take that out. It's going to be a bit of an issue because that means it's going to disable our power production. But it shouldn't take too long to make these three things here. Let's open this up. And yeah, that means I guess these guys aren't operating. Okay, there we go. Alright, now that that's fixed and out of the way, someone throw in, I see some liquid here. Is it the temperature? It's either the temperature in the area, like the air over it, or it's the building itself, which is minus 77. Is it getting cold? It's getting colder and colder. Okay, it's minus 85. Maybe I'll give it a second to get it its coldest. And we'll give this thing a run. Just watching this machine get colder and colder. Minus 86 is what the environment is. Oh, it's going colder than that. Minus 86.5 or so. Minus 87.4. I mean, I don't mind if you get colder and colder. I see there's minus 91. You know what? Let's just fire this up. Okay, so we need a data bank, or plastic, I mean. Someone should be picking that up for us, making their way over like that. Production rate 268. Really? And it's going down. Is that because 261? Why is it going down? And the fact that it's a random number, maybe the maximum is 300%. So I bet we need to get to minus 100 to get the maximum, which is a lot. It's a little frustrating. I really wish I had a frozen core. I could have just built it down in there. And that was, I think, well below minus 100. There's the data bank. We don't have an achievement. Okay. Really? Ah. Well then. What to do? Okay, so this is my plan. I'm going to bring up some of this ethanol that's up here, put this in a circular line. I've got some radiant pipes made out of aluminum, some granite we're putting around this, some conductive pipes that we're going through this machine. I'm going to try to get it down below 100 degrees. And I'm going to, that's the reason I chose ethanol, because I know ethanol freezes at, what was it, minus 114. So that should be able to get us below 100. And we'll see if that's going to be good enough to get us achievements in this game. So there's the aqua tuner going in. Line of ethanol already lined up, ready to go. And we'll just wait for this thing to turn on once it's all built. Just a little bit more piping to go. Single piece left. Who has our missing aluminum? Oh, I bet it's a Flydo. Oh no. Maybe it's Gizmo. Oh, not Gizmo. Gizmo's just stopping for oxygen. That is too funny. I don't know if you heard the last clip or not. I had a vase fall off the fridge. Didn't break, but broke my floor. Anyways, with that all cleaned up, let's go back to this. Let's make a data bank. Crusher, you are not looking great. But someone should be bringing a little bit of plastic over. If I find out... Oh, hold on. What am I doing? No. Yeah, we created our line, but we haven't actually completed the coolness. It's still only 50. Yeah, complete. A little distracted there after a little cleanup from the vase falling. But what did I actually intend to do? We tend to have this go like... these are reversed. Okay. I guess I'll destroy... I wish there was an option just to reverse, but I think there's a mod for that, but I don't have that. So I'll just rebuild them. So just need to rebuild this conductive line. We'll have our liquid going round. Opening up this area. Maybe make this a priority, digging down there. And I've got a plan to connect to my hydrogen line. Figured, let's fill this with gas. And if we're going to choose a gas, hydrogen, which is very conductive, seems like a good approach. So that we can get our temperature very nice and cooled over here. Minus 54. It's actually warmed up since we've added in some new material. But here we go. So with this machine running, do I have... Is that a power fluctuation issue, or do we just have too much in the pipe? We may just have too much. If that's the case, how about we try installing 2 more up like this? And then wait for the hydrogen to load and wait for temperature to get down, and we'll try this when it's below minus 100. So after a short time of running the aquatuner down here, it started to overheat. Thinking the thin air, the fact that it's sitting on top of bisolite, maybe not the best choice. So we're just locating it up here. It's in ethanol, which actually does not that great from a thermoconductive perspective, but I think it's at least better than down here. And I don't need to make it super cold or make it run for a very long time. Well, I assume I don't. I'm just assuming I only have to make 1 data bank. But I'll give this a run. And we'll see how far we can get with this setup. At least we won't be overheating as quickly, I'm pretty sure. Whenever the fly dough has to deliver something, it always takes a while. But they're putting in the last piece here. Now we have to wait, since these doesn't actually build anything, it only supplies things. There we are. And... still have too much in our line. Okay, let's take this out. Maybe re-add another piece. See if we can get going on that. Meanwhile, I see some hydrogen that's been loaded down here. That's going to be enough. I don't want that to get out of control, so maybe I'll cut this. That can go back towards our hydrogen engine. See if we're able to run now. Not quite. Okay, maybe I'll take 2 pieces out. See what that does. Do we finally have a system that's continually running? I think we do. Awesome. So we're going down here. Currently, we will see if this machine maintains its temperature, or at least doesn't overheat. But we've got minus 80 going in, minus 95. We want a little bit colder than that, but after it runs for a good amount of time, we'll see if we can get this to be about minus... I'm not sure where we can get, but certainly below minus 100 for the next test. So this process of cooling things down, I mean, it's working, and if I probably left it long enough, I'm sure it would get there, but I think it would make sense to insulate around this. So I'm going to do just that. My question is, how do I do that? I think a path like that would be good. Then I'm going to need a ladder system, going both up and down. Maybe take this out. Dig a path like that, then a ladder over here, path over like that. We'll see what this insulation will make it go colder. I mean, it'll ultimately work, but I think the insulation is going to speed things up significantly. Minus 95 though, we are pretty close. Yeah, just make sure this machine is still operating nice and cool. It is. That's awesome. Currently achieved a temperature of minus 93. Hoping that is going to improve significantly after this installation is complete. Okay, so with that just about complete, already minus 96. That has made a minus 97. Yeah, I don't think we're going to have to wait long now for minus 100 degrees and see if we can get this achievement behind us. Been pretty much waiting until this gets to be minus 114 when it turns solid. Hoping that that has made things cold enough. Minus 104. Okay, alright. Well, let's give this a run. Someone's going to have to go over if we need to test this more than this once. Well, you know what? Let's just build a bin now, just in case. Put that right there. Fill that up with some plastic. And wait for... Oh, there we are. Oh, Zap, I thought you were carrying some plastic. Guess that's going to be... Never mind, rock. Who's got the plastic? That is good. Crusher. Throwing that in this machine. Okay, what do we have? 287. Highly thinking that... Oh, we're also already below... We're at minus 99. But even then, 300 is not minus 100. How cold do you have to make this thing to run at maximum efficiency? Okay, I mean, I cannot run this any cooler, at least with ethanol. I mean, don't tell me I have to go out in space and get super coolant. If that's the case, I'm probably going to start the new playthrough, because I'm not going there just to get this achievement. Yeah. How cold? Okay, really, really, really wishing I had a cold area. I think it's minus 150 when you have frozen core. Can I make that happen here? Or do I give up? Or do I go after super coolant? I just need a small amount of super coolant. Yeah, that did not result in an achievement. Crusher, I'm feeling as crushed as you right now. I guess I'm gonna have to go think about this. Carving out an area here, I may have come up with an idea to actually cool things off without super coolant. Okay, breaking no more things, please, here. Yeah, if I can get this guy inside a fully enclosed insulated area, I can cool it off. Maybe put a super or a... Oh, no, wait a minute. Thinking I want... Never mind. Instead of doing it right here, what if we did this? What if we insulate it right along the top of this? Igneous, in fact, I wonder if ceramic... Let's just get the maximum. Let's do ceramic. We'll have this cooling system, but instead of using ethanol, we'll use water. Now, how are we going to use water when it freezes at minus 0 or something like that? We are going to limit how much can go in, because I know if liquid is below a kilogram, I believe that's what it is, it doesn't freeze no matter what it is. I believe, unless there's an extreme temperature, but we'll see. So I'll get that going. Also get a path open down here. We'll put this guy right underneath, like this. We'll feed a... Oh, we've got to load in some plastic. Okay, so if I want it fully insulated, I think the easiest way is to have a double transformer. Supply this with power. So we will keep insulating. I don't know if I actually have enough ceramic, but I can probably live with something else. Yeah. Do igneous rock. I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough. So I will want a bin where we'll throw in some plastic. We'll want to make sure that we have a process for loading. I don't know how much. Maybe like that. And just in case we're in a jam where we need to throw in more plastic, I'll put this line in like that. We'll start with initial... How many was 5 kilograms per piece? Oh, I think we've got a stuck dupe. Whoops. Let's get them out of there. Whoa, Flydos. They drowned? I didn't know that. Okay, well, I learned something. So I want to have conductive wire that goes out from here and is fed with 2 transformers. 1 and 2. That's going to be part of the heavy wire line. And set that like that, and let's get everything out of here. Because all this material that's in here will have to be cooled down if I leave it in there, and that seems kind of wasteful. So we'll just pull it out. Make sure we've got 5 I don't know how many pieces need to be made. 5. Let's do 50 for 10 pieces. I can, with this setup here, the conveyor chute, I can always add more if I get into a jam. Manufacture material, plastic. Make that high priority. Put in a bin for everything that is swept. And we will do a cleanup before we seal this off. Just before I seal this off, I had thought to myself, maybe it would be nice to push in some hydrogen. There's a small amount of oxygen. I'll plan to get that out, so we've got pure hydrogen in here. I'll have to push one of these back. So we'll put in our pump right there. Process, we're dumping in hydrogen right there. And that's going to be on a wiring system. Let's clean up the inside of this. Get a gas vent right down there. And we'll see where we can get with this. So the plan... Oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to seal this off. I completely forgot about... That would have been annoying. Not the biggest deal, but still. We want this. I've got a bunch of aluminum down here, which this whole system didn't work out. So you know what? Go away. Let's get our aluminum back. In fact, let's get take that out as well. I'm going to then... Let's see, on this side, we want this to go to maybe across like this, and aluminum, across like that, insulate it, or in aluminum rather. We'll have this go down and around like, oh wait, how should I do this? If I go like this, then like this, then this, then insulate it on this side down to there. Maybe then we got to return. And to be honest, it's probably that I need to. Well, yeah, I'm going to say right up here if I have any ceramic left. So maybe I'll take this out. For insulated, yeah, I'd rather have the pipe that's on the outside of this be insulated ceramic. I think that's probably the most important bit. Not sure that it's essential, but That goes there. That goes there. A little bit of snow. Let's get that out. Put in our second transformer in the back here. See a little bit of snow. We don't want that melting, so just to be safe. Put that along that way. Now, oh, right. I can't just actually push that out. I forget about that. Maybe we do want a little bit more ceramic. Put an order in 30. Copy the setting across like that. Okay, so that process is started. Because I mentioned that I need to get the flow of water down. And I can do that with a simple equipment. All I need is liquid valve. Maybe take this pump out of the way. We'll get that in up there. But other than that, igneous rock, pull that out. Are we ready? We might be ready to seal this off. Just double check that we've got a line. We're going to have this maybe go around, have the pressure go down to below 1 kilogram. Go around here and here and here. Getting colder and colder till this gets to, I don't know, minus 150. I'm hoping that's what we're looking at. And we'll seal this off and see what we can do. So now we're taking this pipe out so we can create a vacuum before we push in some hydrogen. And then we're going to put a liquid valve going down like this. A little bit more ceramic. We'll go up and down and do a disconnect right there so we can control how much water is going to go through this system. Now, I could use ethanol, but if I'm doing this setup, I think water is a little bit better. The only thing is I don't know if this process is either just going to take forever or there's some subtlety I'm missing, but I'll give it a try. So while I wait for this to become a vacuum, we'll install the water drop-off spot, which is going to load our initial water. It's going to go up through here and into this system. Just looking at this, I'm wondering if I should load it there. If the temperature of that water is too cold, we might put too much through. That might be actually bad. I don't know what's the right answer, so might actually just put in both. But I'll do disconnect right there. So we'll try loading it right there first. See where we get on that setup. Okay, let's put in our first little bit of water. Enable auto bottle. Okay, so our... Oh, I forgot. Whoops. Okay, so we don't want to haul out any more gas. But I do want to connect to our hydrogen line. So we can push in hydrogen. Maybe I should hold off till we get a little bit of hydrogen in there first before we add water. So hydrogen is on the way, and I've got to think about how much hydrogen I want in there. The more there is, the more that we can maintain the temperature, but the longer it will take to ultimately cool down. Pump, you stop doing your thing. Okay, good. Let's start with just a small amount. And then I can give the command back to getting in some water. So yeah, just pure hydrogen, currently starting at minus 60, so we have to get into at least minus 100. I don't know how much colder than that, but we're going to find out. Oh, forget to set this. So we'll do 950. I think I could do 999. I think 1000 is where we get into problems where stuff will freeze in the pipes, but let's watch this. So water's going in. It's 10 kilograms per dot here at 20-ish degrees. Okay, yeah, I should have waited. I was too quick there and didn't give the dupes enough time. Let's do a cut right there. Okay, yeah. Someone please, has that been set? Okay. Alright, let's try this again. Gonna connect right here. Now, if I could just get less water this time. There we are. 950. Okay, cancel that a little bit. Okay, so what that means, and what we should see, unless maybe they've done an update, it's always possible. But this cold water is, okay, that's actually looking promising. Minus 5.8, that should freeze, but it's not because it's above a kilogram. As long, okay, I don't know how this is going to work out actually. We don't want any more added, but cold damage. Okay. Why? That might not work. Or can I actually run it long enough, even if it causes a bit of damage? Let's destruct this. I don't know if that's causing an issue. Let's have a look. That way I could at least see. Oh. Yeah, we need that. That definitely needs to go away. That's for sure. That needs to be fixed again. Okay, this is not working. This is not working. Maybe I need my supercoolant. Okay, what I'll try to do is, instead of loading it that way, I'll load it like this. And maybe I'll do it right there where I can see. It might be a little bit better. Oh, I did not realize that we were continuing to add water. Stop that process. Someone needs to build this little pipe, and we'll see if we can fix. Ugh. I am not liking the Flydos, to be honest. They're just too slow. And a lot of times you're waiting on the last piece of a construction. I don't know. I just not sold on the Flydos as a great thing. Okay, so Pebble. Putting this in. So any setup I can do. If I just minimize metal liquid going in. What if we just had, what if we did that? What if we said there wasn't enough in the line? What's going on? Oh. We've got a breakage. We have to go inside and fix this. Nuts. Try to minimize hydrogen. Oh, if I go up, hydrogen will go out. It might be slightly better to go down. So, new plan. Maybe I will just try to get the water to circulate if I can first before I seal this off. Let's try adding in water. Okay, getting a breakage. Stop there. Okay, and we're able to get through here. We're able to get through here, so that's not a problem. Let's take this out just so that we can see. Cold damage. I want that gone. Do we have it? Just want this. Oh, ooh. Because I notice that the first piece that comes out after a blank tends to freeze. But as long as there's no breakage, as in there's like, I think there's a blank piece in the middle, we're doomed. Because every time that blank piece sits here and then a fresh piece comes out, it gets a little bit cold damage. But I think the way the game works, if it never has that blank piece, we're okay. I think that might be... Oh, minus 29, minus 30, minus 30. It's going and go. Okay, seal it up, seal it up, seal it up. That might be working. That might be working, which is just really cool because that just saves me from having to go to get super coolant. We've got some ice in there. I mean, it's not going to hurt. And I will just let this run until we get minus 100 and more. And now these pipes are going to break over time, so why don't we just get rid of them. Hopefully I won't have to add more, but I can always just recreate that if I have to. Okay, okay. This is working. Now, here's the other mess that could happen. If this ever doesn't have enough power, then we're going to be in a situation where water accumulates, all this water pushes up to a dot right here and then freezes. So let's go look at the power situation. How many breaks do these machines get? How are we for hydrogen? I mean, 36 kilograms per tile over there. I kind of have a feeling like we're going to be completely fine, though these are going quite often. Might be easier to see from the oh, it's more red than it is green. It just, the animation kind of doesn't seem to reflect that, but okay. All right then, I might just walk away, come back later, and I'll show you what I've got. We also going to make sure that this doesn't get too hot up here, but I wonder if I should have made steel. Well, maybe not. We'll see. Okay, so I'm back, and I see we've achieved below 150. And I noticed this is actually interesting. You don't actually have to have the data miner running for it to show the production rate. It's showing right now 382. That is not, excuse me, an even number. And it's getting colder, so clearly it's not at its maximum. We're at minus 168. Maybe it's minus 200. We'll keep going. Maybe it's a maximum of 500%. We'll see. This is frozen over, but I haven't had to touch anything. The same water that I had going earlier is the same water that's in there. So that's just doing its thing. The water is minus 175. Awesome. Temperature up here is minus 38, so that is fine. And I'll just leave this alone for a little bit longer. I have just received a production rate of 400% at minus 180. 401. Never mind. I had a theory that that was the maximum. Anyway, we'll keep getting colder and colder. So getting colder and colder, and I thought, uh-oh, we're getting water in here. And I'm like, wait a minute. How are we getting water? Water would have turned to ice. No, that's liquid oxygen. We've made it to liquid oxygen point. Production rate is over 400. Why are we getting this to sort of go all over the place? I don't have pure hydrogen in here because unfortunately because we had to go in, I let a little bit of oxygen in. But will that matter? Yeah. I mean, at some point this oxygen is going to turn to solid if I let this go on and on and on. But yeah, I mean, unless maybe this production rate is broken and it actually is saying a higher value and it only is at 400. I feel like it's 500. I'm gonna leave it away. I'm gonna leave for a while again, and we'll see if we can get this to be even colder. Let's get at least minus 200 at a minimum before I give a test run. So I have not made a lot of progress in terms of cooling over the last little bit. Minus 185. It seems to slow down. I'm not entirely sure why. We, though, do have water going in at minus 186, going out at 193. I'm wondering if we should just give this a try. It'd be funny if my theory from before was right. Maybe it has a maximum of 400 or something, but just shows higher. So let's give this a run. I did a test in case I need to do a reload in case I'm wrong. But let's see what happens. Okay, so that is a data bank, but no achievement. Okay, so, I mean, how cold do I really need to make this? I think what I want to do is break into this zone. Let's get the oxygen out. I'm kind of wishing I had done that. And you know what? Why don't we make a vacuum in here? I could always add, it's easier to add stuff than take stuff away. Liquid stuff, but it's fine. Put another bin in here so we can have a spot to direct some ice to be removed. Let's just remove all this stuff. Take that liquid bottle of oxygen, dump it out right there, and put in, or remove all the ice as well. Fly dough. Taking the data bank away. Okay, so let's put all this stuff swept, put in there. Just a little bit of oxygen left. Okay, that's going to be a little bit annoying. I'm wishing I had done this earlier. Now here's the thing. What if it's actually colder where I need to have solid oxygen? That would actually be completely pointless because I'm cooling, if that's the case. I'm cooling this oxygen off without ever needing to, because if it's solid, it's just going to sit in there, barely interact. What's the current temperature? Minus. How are we colder now? While we opened up in here. Maybe it's the fact that we're getting rid of this stuff. It's a little surprising. Liquid oxygen. I don't know if there's any way I'm going to be able to get it all out, to be honest. Why don't we try putting in this there so I don't have to select that all the time. Alright, I'll see what, and how are we doing for hydrogen? Hydrogen's pretty thin, but that I can pump out. Or maybe I'll just leave a small amount, but yeah, here we go, here we go. I've never done this before. Have a bottle emptier. This should be an achievement where you jump liquid oxygen. Make that high priority. And do some mopping, so now I don't have to select stuff. They should pick it up automatically. I don't know if they have enough time to do that, actually. It's the unfortunate thing. There's a bottle. Someone pick it up. I might just... There's a couple options. I could either dig this down and rebuild up. But then that's probably just going to turn to gas, and I'm going to warm up the spot. Alright, I'll keep doing this until I'm satisfied that I've thinned this out, or maybe I've gotten rid of it. I do not think that we're going to get rid of all the oxygen, but I notice temperatures is much colder now. So someone should be picking up these last few bottles. You know what? Just leave it. Just leave it. We'll deal with a little bit of oxygen. Just take those bottles that are there right now out. Somebody. Maybe. Please. Oh, Flydos. I need to get rid of them. How do you get rid of a Flydo, actually? They're just too slow to be useful in my mind. Okay. I was like, where are you going? Alright, well, let's seal this back up. With the hydrogen thinned out and the liquid oxygen thinned out, we're already at minus 195. I think we'll advance a lot quicker. The only thing is, this machine is going to throw out some heat. So if I have it too thin, am I going to be in a situation where, yeah, it's okay to start with. We're at 433, but I don't know that minus 200 it's going to be an even number. Is it even colder than minus 200? Like, this is ridiculous. When am I going to see solid oxygen? I mean, if it's solid oxygen sitting here with this machine, still not at maximum efficiency, I'll be like, what? Okay, let's check the temperature up here. So this is still comfortable, and it's got tons of coldness to keep the aqua tuner warm. That's good. But yeah, okay, we are cooling off much faster. I'm just worried about the fact that it might be too thin, but we'll see. Well, I have cooled this machine down to absolute 0. We've got solid hydrogen sitting in here. And this has been going up to what appears to be a maximum 533. It makes me a little nervous. That's an uneven number, like 500 or 1,000 or something like that. But, I mean, how do I get it colder? Because I'm going in at 271, or minus that, and coming out the same value. Yeah, can't get any colder. It's already at the maximum, right? Well, let's make a data bank, see what happens. Now, here's my concern. As I run this, oh, we're warming up pretty quick. Ooh. Okay, so maybe you don't have to get it down to absolute 0, because right now, unless it's 50, 533 point, well, I don't know. I've left it alone. I think as long as this liquid that's running here is slowing this process down, or maybe the temperature it needs to be at. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. That's got to be that achievement, right? There it be. Data driven. Produce a data bank using data miner operating at maximum efficiency. Okay, the question I have then is exactly how cold did it have to be? So minus 265 also is 533. So let me just add heat, and I can do that. Let's cut the cooling process down, so I don't have that going on. And oh, we're gonna have broken stuff, but whatever, that's fine. I just want to have this running. That's going to be adding heat to the system. And I'll watch this until it drops from 533, and I'll see if I can figure out. Maybe it's minus 250. Oh, whoa, stop. Minus 2, that's a very odd number. Minus 262 or around there, and that has dropped to 531. So you have to get it below minus 262. In fact, you probably have to get it even colder, because if you get it down to absolute 0 or something, it has a process of warming up. And I'm assuming it has to, well, I guess it depends on when the data bank arrives. Is that at the very end that it has to be at that efficiency? In which case, yeah, you do have to make sure it doesn't heat up to be too much. Wow, I was not expecting to have to go through this. So yeah, looking back then, getting a asteroid with a frozen core would not have done me any good. Though it is nice to be on this very cold asteroid where I can run this thermo aquatuner without having to worry. Having this little trick of sending water in, I've broken that process now, but that was really nice. Otherwise, if I had a playthrough where I already had supercoolant or was planning on doing that, I probably would have preferred that. But if I had done this again, I would have made just a pure vacuum, cooled this machine off much quicker, and because right now the hydrogen that I have in there is doing nothing for me. I might as well have not had hydrogen, though I don't have a whole lot of hydrogen in there. There's only like 150 grams per the piece of each of those. Well then, my friends, I think that is it with experimenting on the Bionic booster pack. I think I've got to start an official playthrough, which I haven't decided. I don't think that's going to be on this asteroid. It's going to be on the regular asteroid. I haven't officially decided, but I think that's going to be a mix of dupes, regular dupes, or just Bionic, or we'll see. That I'll start tomorrow, and I'll see what I get up to. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thanks anyone for liking, subscribing, leaving comments, and hopefully I'll see you next time.